lonely CEO saw a poor single mom returning her baby's formula. What he did next changed everything. The sky over Maplewood, New Jersey, had already sunk into twilight. Though it was only 5 p.m., snow drifted down in quiet sheets, blanketing cars and shop windows. A cold wind cut through the streets, but Clare Whitmore pressed on. Her coat, too big and frayed at the edges, whipped in the gusts. A faded scarf was pulled tight around her neck, and in her arms, wrapped in a threadbare pink blanket, slept her 9-month-old daughter, Lily. No car, no bus fare, no family. Just a mother pushing forward because she had to. At Millionaire, Clare carefully picked her groceries day-old bread, oats, a handful of apples marked down for bruises. $23. That was her limit. Still, she lingered in the baby aisle, staring at Lily's formula $41.99. She added it anyway, praying it would work out. At the register, the total blinked 47.83. Heat rose in her face. She whispered to the cashier, "I'll put the formula back." The canister was set aside without a word. Clare gathered what little she could pay for, clutching Lily tighter as she walked back into the snow. From across the store, someone had noticed. Daniel Rhodess, 37, tall and composed in a dark overcoat, stood with his 5-year-old daughter, Isla. A widower and the head of a large company, Daniel had lived years in the rhythm of meetings, contracts, and quiet nights since losing his wife, Emily. But as he watched Clare's shoulders sag and saw the weight of unspoken struggle in her silence, something stirred within him. "Daddy," Isla whispered, tugging his hand. "Why doesn't that baby get milk?" Daniel's chest tightened. "We'll help them," he replied gently. He turned back, grabbed the exact formula Clare had left behind, then added mittens, soup, and fresh rolls. Outside, by the bus stop, he found her. "I think this belongs to you," he said, offering the bag. "It's not charity, just one parent helping another." Clare's eyes filled. Before she could answer, Isla peeked out and said, "You're Lily's mommy? You look like a princess from my bedtime." Clare laughed through the ache in her chest and finally accepted the bag. "Thank you." For her, Daniel offered a ride. Clare hesitated, then agreed for Lily's sake. Her small apartment was bare, but immaculate. Quilts hand-stitched, toys made from scraps. The kind of home built on love, not money. On the wall hung a framed photograph. Sergeant Thomas Whitmore, Operation Iraqi Freedom, 2004. Clare's grandfather. Daniel froze. The name struck him like thunder. Later that night, after tucking Isla into bed, Daniel pulled out a letter written years ago by his father, a letter about the soldier who had once saved his life overseas. That soldier was Thomas Whitmore. Fate had quietly tied their families long before this night. Daniel made a vow then. This wasn't about pity. It was about honoring a debt, a legacy. Weeks later, Clare got an unexpected call from the Maplewood Veteran Support Center. A new program the Whitmore Grant had launched, providing education and jobs for descendants of veterans. Clare was accepted. Through tears, she agreed. When she asked who had started the program, she was told he wanted to remain anonymous. Just someone honoring a man who once saved his family. She didn't ask. She already knew. Months later, at the grant's first ceremony, Clare stepped onto the stage, voice trembling. "My grandfather taught me that sacrifice isn't only about war, it's about love and refusing to give up. This grant gave me more than help. It gave me hope." Daniel watched from the crowd, pride in his eyes. But jealousy brewed elsewhere. Veronica Ashford, a colleague of Daniel's, whispered doubts. Clare had been chosen only because of Daniel. The board convened. Tension filled the room. Veronica pressed. Was this selection influenced? For the sake of fairness, we should reconsider. Then Daniel rose. He placed his father's letter on the table. Sergeant Thomas Whitmore saved my father's life. This grant exists to honor that. Claire earned it not because of me, but because of him. Claire spoke firmly, her voice steady. My grandfather didn't risk his life so I could receive favors. He did it because it was right. And I will live in a way that reflects that. Silence followed. Truth had spoken louder than rumor. Veronica was dismissed. Claire's place was secure. 2 years later, a little house on Willow Lane rang with laughter. Claire flipped pancakes in the kitchen while Isla and Lily raced through the yard, their giggles carried by the wind. Claire, now executive director of the Whitmore Foundation, answered emails about new scholarships while Daniel stole a pancake, kissing her cheek. Their life had not been born from chance or handouts, but from legacy, love, and a snowy evening when one man chose not to look away. And everything quietly began.